Hi guys, welcome in or welcome back. Today's tutorial is this adorable 5-petaled flower. So this little one, I used the 4.25, and that's usually what I use to make flowers because it just brings them in. But for the purpose of the tutorial, today I will be using a 5mm hook. And this is Old Faithful for me. I use this all the time. So obviously we need a needle, yarn, and scissors. Today I'm using Big Twist in the color Varsity Gold, as you see there. So you can do all your purchasing if you want it to be exactly how I did it. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Oh, shocker. First time? Yeah. Pull that bad boy through and put your hook in, and we're just gonna do a chain of 5, 3, 4, 5, and make sure it's flat and go directly into that first chain from the front, slip knot. And I like to sew my tail in at the same time, but you don't have to. You can sew it in how you sew it, but you can watch how I do it. I'll bring the chain, the working yarn and the tail at the same time, chain 2, and then the tail will just stop, going at some point. So I'm going to do a half double crochet of 10. And I prefer the smaller needle because it just looks neater. It's more intricate, it's more detailed. And the 5mm is more for making clothes, in my opinion. It's not really for making shapes. You'd want smaller needles for shapes. It holds better. It just makes more sense. Honestly, when we're done, you'll see. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch into the top of your first half double crochet, or at the very top of your chain 2. I think it's like the same thing. So just slip that in. Make sure you still have 10 all the way around, because you're gonna need that. Everything will be uneven. Chain 3, skip that first one, and do a single crochet into every other stitch. So you want to make these little loops in between. There you go. You're gonna just keep going, 3, and then a single crochet, and then a 3, every other single crochet. So we're not doing the one that we just went into. Of course, we're gonna skip that one and go into the next one. So here we're done, and we're going to slip stitch into that very first one. Okay, so that was easy enough. We're going to go ahead and chain 1 and then do 5 half double crochets in the loop that you made. Okay, one, it's the first one. And we got a 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we slip stitch into that single crochet, and you're just gonna go ahead and do that in all of the loops, and we're almost done, guys. Don't you feel proud of yourself when you finish a quick project? So nice, so satisfying. And I love these flowers. As you can see, I did a video where I made maybe 100 or so in a bunch of different colors. I make these flowers all the time. I think they're more fun than granny squares because you're done with them quickly. So this would be a nice thing to add to your things to make a bunch of. I don't know if you're anything like me where you have boxes of things that you just made a bunch of, like granny squares or stars or flowers. This would be one of those things. So what I do with my shapes when I make a bunch of them, sometimes I'll add them to other projects or I'll sew them together and make a big project, but they always come in handy to have crochet scraps that you've already done and you can build off of it. Okay, last step. We're just going to slip stitch into the base of that last chain. So I was having a hard time because it was awfully tight. So we're just going to keep trying. And there you go. Slip stitch into that one. And you can chain one for extra security, but I think it leaves like a little bulge, a little buckle. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. Yeah, you can chain one if you'd like to. I did not. I pulled it through, pulled it tight, and sew it back into the other direction. And you can pull it through once again and then do the same step that I'm going to show you here, where you put your crochet needle, just get a smaller needle than the one that you just used, put it at in your crochet stitch where you would have sewn it into, if that makes sense, that little area there. Pull your string through. So you see on the other side it is the same thing. So you can pull your string through that one, and then you can pull that string through once again to the other side and pull it again through the other way for full total security. But I did not do that. I'll show y'all that next time. But this time I did not do that. So here we have our completed flower. Congratulations, guys. Just go ahead and, if you're like me and you're probably not going to use the flower actually, just snip it and you're done. Now, if you are going to actually use it, imagine a bunch of these as a headband or on a purse. They're just adorable, please. And so here's the difference between the smaller one, the ones that I actually like. Now you see those loops get very big the bigger the needle is. So I prefer it with a smaller needle. Just looks neater. Thanks for watching.